consideration here on uh, what kind of deck should I use? Uh, if you got two Sigardas, you got this Sigarda and this Sigarda, which one should I use? That's okay. I'm going to tell you what they do and the main mechanics of each Sigarda does. So first we'll start out with the Sigarda Host of Herons. Sigarda Host of Herons, basically, she has hexproof and abilities that don't allow your opponent to discard or let you mess with your cards. They basically she keeps you from being able to do anything so that you don't have to get rid of any of your cards. She's hexproof herself. She protects also her people. But this Sigarda is not limited only to one kind of human. She has no limitations. She can go humans, elves, dragons, fairies, lollipops, you name it, she'll protect it. This Sigarda has a little more ability to do a little bit more. She has the protection that she can protect a bunch of other people. Not just humans in itself, like her other compadre here, the Sigarda Heron's Grace. This Sigarda has a higher, toughness. She's a 5/5. The other Sigarda, which we'll be talking about here real soon, is a 4/4. Now, the difference between this one and this one is you can see that this is kind of the original Sigarda. This is the Sigarda that everybody kind of knows, and everybody knows all too well that the Sigarda that everybody kind of sees as a threat. Now, with this Sigarda, do you have to use any spells? No. You don't have to use Swiftfoot Boots, Whisper Silk Cloak to protect Sigarda. Sigarda already herself is protected, unlike this one, which we'll get into here in a sec. So basically, this Sigarda already has the protection of herself and every creature that's on the field that you're using. So no matter what creature you're using, as long as you're dedicated to green and white, Sigarda will be a good commander or a good card to use in any staple deck of a commander deck. Here's the pros and cons about this Sigarda. Pros is that she is a little bit higher. Pros, she costs just the same amount as this one, but only different. You have to use 2 white manas and 1 green and 2 others in order to cast her. So that's not bad, right? That's kind of a good thing, but you do get your money's worth. Another pro is that she is a 5/5. She literally has the ability. This Sigarda has the ability to basically be beefed up, no matter what you do. If you beef her up, if you build a deck around her, a full board deck that you commit yourself to, she will outlast most people if you get her good enough. She has the ability to stay on the field, which comes to our other pro. Sometimes opponents will love to destroy any artifacts, any instants, any sorceries. Sigarda can run on sorceries and instants and stuff, but if you really want to make Sigarda pop and shine like a star, enchantments is what she does best. You can get the best ability out of her for enchantments. Now here's the cons. The cons are that Sigarda will be easily targeted. Most of the time, because people are not going to want to have Sigardas sitting there because getting shot down by the highest commander that you could possibly have on field at any point in game is going to hurt. So you're going to get shot down. It's just part of the game. Don't worry about it. It sucks. Another, really, I don't have much cons for her other than, she is kind of expensive. The price. She runs about $17, $18 depending on what you're gonna get her at. But is it worth it? Yes, it is definitely well worth to buy this Sigarda, the host of herons. This Sigarda is, again, any EDH commander green and white staple deck that anyone can think of. Sigarda host of herons is awesome. Now we come to Sigarda herons Grace. Now, this one compared to her sister, or I guess we'd say the other Sigarda, this one has a little bit more limitations, so this one's going to be kind of a little bit calm. Again, this is a 5, so instead of paying 2 yellows, 1 green, or 2 whites, 1 green, and 2 extras, you're paying 3 extras, 1 green, 1 forest, and 1 plains. That's a better gimme. For that to be worth anything, I would say that's not bad. That's a well worth trade. But on the other hand, the toughness of Sigarda here. She's a 4 or 5. A 4/4 basically. We'll just say 4/4. She's a 4/4. Unlike Sigarda host of herons here, this Sigarda has a lot of limitations, and we're going to go through that right now. The first limitation is that she will be able to get hit. She's not protected. So with this Sigarda, you're going to want to put Swiftfoot Boots, Whisper Silk Cloak, and Indestructible on her. You would want to put Indestructible on this Sigarda too as well, but this one you're going to have to do a lot more because this Sigarda will get hit, and she will get hit hard. There is that situation that you have to sit on right there is that this Sigarda will not be able to protect herself. Unlike this, the Sigarda host of herons, Sigarda's Heron Grace is not really well known to be defensive against hexproof against herself. She can do it against the creatures that she protects, which are humans. Which again comes to another thing, another con of this whole thing. This Sigarda is basically kind of only meant for humans. So that means you would be basically stuck with a white-green human deck. Not bad. I mean, humans do have good abilities, and they have abilities to beef her up a little. So that's okay. So you can get maybe some green, white humans. And just a few Swiftfoot Boots, maybe Skull Clamp, Whisper Silk Cloak, and maybe Orbs of the Warden, or Orbs of Warning. That will protect her. If you put Whisper Silk Cloak or Swiftfoot Boots on her and Dark Steel Plate or something that will give her indestructible, she'll stay around a little bit longer. She'll have that chance to stay a little bit longer. But there is, again, the problem with this Sigarda. This Sigarda, unlike this one, she can use enchantments. This one seems to run a little bit more with, I've noticed, artifacts. Now, here's the common thing. Artifacts get shot down. Sorceries get shot down. Instants get shot down. Those are the things that are going to get shot down the quickest, the fastest. Hardly ever do you hear enchantments get shot down. Once in a while, they happen, but not very often. So this Sigarda is going to get hit double timed. So the best way to protect her is that you make sure that you have Whisper Cell Cloak, Swiftfoot Boots, something indestructible, and then beef her up a little. Make it work. Can it work that way? Yes. You can get Sigarda to be beefed up. Even though she's a 4-4, you can beef her up to a 5-5 like the other Sigarda, the host of Herons. The main thing for this is that, again, you're going to only be stuck with humans. Humans is not really known very well to help, I guess, very much. You would have to look for good humans that would give her 1/1s and give her help. So basically, what is this deck kind of constructive? Well, I have both decks, as you can see. I have this Sigarda, the Sigarda's Host of Herons, and Sigarda's Heron's Grace. I run both decks. Now, when it comes down to it, this deck actually has probably, if you get everything right and you pay a good amount of money, you probably could run a very good ability to protect her and beef her up with humans. And maybe or enchantments or whatever you choose. But she would still have to have humans in there, unlike this one. This Sigarda, again, no humans, does not require humans. This Sigarda can go, again, for anything. This Sigarda, basically, you're stuck with humans. So you're going to end up getting very little. Which means you're going to have to find some way to beef this Sigarda up and keep it from getting shot down, which is going to be very hard because your Sigarda will get shot down with artifacts. And a lot of artifacts I have used to beef Sigarda up have been shot down in the second or third game turn. Actually, the third turn. And I've noticed that. And that's just the one worst thing about Sigarda is that when you do that. But Sigarda is a really good deck. Card to have. She's a good commander for your deck, for any deck. Here's some of the pros about this Sigarda. The pros is that she does have fly, just like her other component Sigarda, the other version of her, I mean. She's really good at protecting humans, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, if you're going to do all human deck, and your deck consists of, I want to do humans, but humans kind of are the big thing, and you have something that you're working, around humans, but you want to keep them protected, or you have another commander that's green and white, and you got Sigarda in there, use her. She's good for protection, to protect the humans around her. Here are the big cons. She's a 4-4, which means she's one lower than the Sigarda Host of Herons. Which means you're not going to get a lot of big punches. You're going to get some good punches out of her, for sure. But you're not going to get, like, the 5-5 punch. You're not going to get her to do a big punch. The other con is that, again, I'm going to have to repeat this again, she's stuck with humans. I'm sorry, and it sucks. But she's stuck with humans, and she's not hexproof, unless you hexproof her yourself. And that's the only way to get her to be that way. Which means you would have to take more time to actually do it and try to make sure that she stays that way. Which means more effort in trying to pay attention to her, which is a give and take. You gotta give, what you put into that deck. that deck is what you make of it. Not only is it your big um, support for your whole entire deck, but it's basically what will help you possibly win. And she can do it. Um, I've had it. I've had her win, and she does really good. She's a good card. But again, another good outcome of this is I can exile a card, and I can create a. I can put a card. I can exile a card from my graveyard with the Sigarda. With this Sigarda, she allows you to exile a card from your grave, and you create a 1/1 token, a human soldier token, onto the battlefield. So basically, compared to this Sigarda really doesn't give you 1/1 tokens. This one can give you 1/1 human tokens. So this one also, not just only is it for protecting, flying, and hexproofing, but she can also use if you are in a pinch and you're gonna get shot down the next turn, and you know you're gonna get shot down, and you got a couple creatures in your yard, in your graveyard. You can pull out a couple creatures from your graveyard, exile them, and create tokens, which is really good. It gives you the ability to protect her a little bit more. So she has a little bit more ways to protect herself than this. Because if this guard is just on the field by herself, she would be screwed. But if this guard is on the field and you can pull out 1/1 tokens. Sorry, guys. So somebody called me, and I didn't want to. I don't know why I got rudely. The biggest great thing about this, the big thing about this is the plus side with this cigar is you can actually exile 4 creatures and create 1/1 tokens, which is good. It will definitely give you more protection. It helps her in the long run. So I guess the main point is just like this Sigarda, you want to kind of protect her. Just like any commander, you want to protect them. But with this Sigarda, she's a little bit more needy. This one has, I guess we should say, kind of more needs to be defended. This one thing that there is one thing that I did kind of also forget to mention is that when you look at both Sigardas, or not Dillard, but very high, more prioritized than the host of Herons. The host of Heron Sigarda really kind of basically, she can take her punches, but if you beef her up, she don't need protection. She's got herself to use. You can protect her, yes. It's a good idea to protect her, yes. But it's a good idea to beef her up. So I'm going to just say that this Sigarda is a good card. If you want to have a Sigarda and you really don't want to pay like $18 for, a card, then this is a good Sigarda, I would say, yes. So, all in all, which Sigarda would I go with? Well, of course, hands down, I'm going to have to go with that Sigarda. I know, I had this Sigarda many times in many battles, and me and this Sigarda have had good years and good times. But we still have good times because she's got a deck of her own, and I've got a deck for this one. So I have both Sigardas now. Would I play one over the other? Sure. I mean, I would probably use this one a little bit more for more people versus not very many people. Your Sigarda can go either way. You can have one Sigarda for any occasion. I just decided that since I had both Sigardas now, I can make it easier and make a deck for both of them. Which one do I like more? Like I said, I like this Sigarda a little bit more. I do like this Sigarda, however. She does stand up to being a very good card for very cheap and not very expensive. But this Sigarda definitely plays a little bit more into the hand of it does a lot more for people, and you get your bang for your buck. And I think that is the big thing here is that this Sigarda can pop more than Heron's Grace. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm gonna maybe tomorrow or another day try to do the uh, how to build. Actually, you know what? I think we can maybe. I don't know. I hope you guys uh, either tune in tomorrow or whatever. But I might do how to build the deck either later today or now. I don't know. We'll see. So actually, we'll do it now. So now that we basically talked about, since we have time, I guess I'll do it. Um, since we talked about which cigar we're going to use, this is the thing that you want to do, is that you want to start picking which cigar. So if you want to go with this cigar, let's use this cigar first. Yeah, this cigar, excuse me. We're going to use this cigar. So basically, this cigar is going to consist of all humans. Again, if you're going to use a commander, 99 cards plus Sigarda. Right? So your deck is basically going to consist of humans. So what are you going to want to do for your deck? You're going to want to make a deck that basically gives this Sigarda 1/1s or hexproof or abilities to be able not to get hit but throw punches, swing at your opponent and be able to give them one hell of a hit. So how do you do that? Well, like I said, you're going to want to make sure that you have Swiftfoot boots. You're going to want to have creatures or things that will give you 1/1s, hexproof, anything like that. Those are basically good things to start with this kind of cigar. Humans that will have like double strike, maybe, double strike always works good. Maybe getting her to get double strike. It's always good that you actually have double strike too, and it's really cool because if Sigarda actually gets double strike, that means not only does Sigarda strike once, but you get to hit your opponent twice. First combat and then the secondary combat. So anything that will help Sigarda make this Sigarda basically a beast to handle is worth playing with. This Sigarda will probably rely a little bit more on artifacts, like Helm of the God, or Skull Clamp, or Dark Steel Plate, Swiftfoot Boots, Whisper Silk Cloak, things like that. So you are going to probably get hit, and you are going to want to be able to see if you can block some of those. But most of the time you probably won't have some answers for those, but it's good to have some answers to block those kind of abilities. So that's the one for this one. So this one doesn't require very much. I mean, neither all of them don't, but again, this cigar is really good. The human cigar, like I said, she's fun to play with. I've actually had her for a while now, and I've played with her for a while, and I thought about just how many things I could do with her. It's just incredible. It's amazing how much stuff you can think of, how to build her up, how to make her stronger, how to put her to maybe 20 toughness. Now we'll come with this Sigarda. This Sigarda, you can do a lot of things with this Sigarda. This Sigarda has no limitations to what you can do with her. You can do enchantments. You can do the same thing like the other Sigarda and use uh, artifacts. But again, artifacts do get shot down a lot. And so do instants and sorceries. So if you're going to do kind of a Voltron, kind of one of those decks that basically nobody can touch you, you're going to beef up this card, then you're going to want to do a lot of enchantments for her. And a lot of enchantments will go a long ways with this Sigarda. This Sigarda will, if you do it correctly, you could put Sigarda on a 20. A 20. A 20 hit card. Yipes. That's how bad she can get. You can make her that. You can even get up to 30 or 40. So basically, if you think about this, if you get this Sigarda up to 40, and you swing at your opponent for 40, they're dead. There's no way they can block it unless they have fly. They're dead. One hit, they're dead. But it's kind of hard to get that to Sigarda, but you can do it. But this Sigarda has a lot of abilities, and I like that. This Sigarda's abilities do have excuse me. Oh, pardon me the rude thing. Basically, she has no limitations like the host of Herons. Sigarda. The host of, or not the host of Herons, the Heron's Grace, excuse me. The Heron's Grace Sigarda has limitations. This one doesn't. This one you can do a lot more and you can explore a lot more. So that's why I do kind of recommend this Sigarda. The best thing that I would say for this Sigarda is definitely use artifacts. If you're going to use her as a commander. Artifact her. Get some artifacts that will make her 10-10, 5-5, 8-8, anything. Anything like that. An 8-8 will even boost her. At 10-10, you'll have her at 15. You get her an 8-8 enchantment, ooh. So 20, yeah, basically 23 right there. You have her almost at 23. So Sigarda will be at 23 basically at that point in time. So Sigarda basically will have the basic 23 hit that no one's going to want to answer to. Nobody's going to want to answer to Sigarda. When Sigarda gets 23, somebody's going to have to answer her. Or somebody's going to have to take it. And it's going to be hard to kill Sigarda when she's at 23. You can block her, but it's going to be hard to take her on 23. And if you're open and she's at 23, you are done. That's why I like this Sigarda. Because she can get that far. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video and my take on this. I love you guys. And please, again, if you like my video, thumbs up, comment, rate, and subscribe down below. Share this video with all your MTG friends and players. Definitely, I would recommend using Sigarda. I love Sigarda. Sigarda's just, mwah. Sigarda's my baby. I love her. I use her a lot. I use actually this Sigarda. I really do. I use this Sigarda more than I use Heron's Grace Sigarda. Now, that's sad. That's how much I love this Sigarda. I think you guys would really enjoy that Sigarda. But anyway, I love you guys. Peace.